Hey, what's up, everybody? BDF 44 coming at you with another video. All right, so I figured I'd do a therapy session. Everything that is going on has obviously left me making more therapy sessions in a matter of 2 days than I made probably in the last 4 months. I just named a bunch of videos. I probably should have named a bunch of other stuff, therapy sessions, to keep from drawing too much attention to them, just in case people would be broadly offended by what I say. I don't think many people check out my therapy sessions. If they happen to, that's good. But I think therapy sessions are meant for people who are interested in my personal life, not necessarily people who are interested in my interests, even though they sometimes blend. Whatever the case may be, I'm happy you're here. Whoever you are, you're welcome here. And if I ever say anything that pushes your group away, I do apologize for the personal offense that I may be sending you. That ain't never my intention. That is never my mother's intention when she raised her son. And, when I say certain things, I speak of frustration. I speak of pain sometimes, whether it be my own or speaking for pain that I'm aware of, etc. And sometimes there may be some ignorance attached to it. I'm 38 years of age. I'm pretty sure 20 years from now, I'll have a different mindset than I had now. And 20 years ago, I could tell you there were things that I felt very strongly that I just have better context for right now. So, I think we live in a world where we normalize having people married to their opinions. And while that's very important, one of the things that I always say on this channel is new opinions give me new things to talk about. New information gives me new opinions. So I want to normalize, not necessarily changing one's mind or being wishy-washy, but normalizing, updating one's opinion and the overall understanding of what growth actually means, and how a person can provide and display growth in life through their opinions and how they evolve. So that's something I want to say. But with that being said, I don't feel any different about any of the things I said yesterday at all. In fact, I feel more strongly. I'm more intent on using my voice to raise awareness for the conversation. And if that leaves me at a disadvantage in regards to how I'm viewed, that is just something that has to come with the voice, man. I've long understood that many of my predecessors had to use their voice in ways that were not popular for the time they were in, but if you gave it some time, they were able to help influence a lot of good things and maybe even some things that are still to come. So for my money, I want to display all that I have inside of me: wisdom, ignorance alike, frustration and love alike, with responsibility, of course. And then from there, let it all fall into place. I think that is my intention. I believe that there are many things on this camera that I've said that I'd probably love to delete. There are many things on this camera that would probably keep you from giving me a contract. And I really don't care about that at this moment. And that's just how I have to be. If that bites me in the backside tomorrow, I'll pray about it and let it be. Because at the end of the day, I know what I was doing here every single time I turned on the camera. And I was trying to heal myself from pain that I thought almost took me out. Heal myself of a mentality that was eating away at my consciousness and ultimately wanting me to leave this earth. And I defeated that. I defeated it by a number of practices, and one of them is turning on the camera and allowing you guys in. So I'm going to keep on doing that with responsibility to my information and not nobody else's. I'm not going to be up here screaming out other people's business, but for myself, I feel comfortable speaking, and I use this as a therapy session. I'm aware that people say the internet is not your therapy session. It's mine. It's mine. I tell you that. I don't give a damn, and that's how it gotta be for me. Do what you do. But for me, I'm gonna use the World Wide Web as a therapy session, because if you look at what a troll actually is, all a troll does is dump his energy off on the world and walk away. They don't actually know who that person is. Half of the time they're not serious. Half of the time they're dumping stuff that ain't real. Half the time they're just looking to push out bad energy on others so that it makes them feel better. That's a model that I don't follow. I don't follow that. But I do understand that the internet is a place where you could dump things and run away. I do understand that you could scream as loud as you can and either everybody hear you or nobody hear you on the internet. You know what I mean? But it's a void. It's a big, vast void that lasts throughout the test of time, so long as the lights stay on, they keep the cloud running. So a lot of people who are in this are looking at it as it's something that's supposed to connect with people today. But for me, I look at it as something that connects with people forever. Connects with people who ain't here yet. Connects with people that are far more evolved than we find ourselves today. People who can just have a certain level of second nature understanding to the things that we look at as conundrums. Laugh at our ignorance because it's so long ago and they've learned so much since. These are the people I feel like I'm connected with. Many, many layers of generations in the future. The 6th generation away from me, 12th generation away from me, 25th generation away from this moment. All of which I think can relate to some of the things that I say in the most basic way when it comes to managing your mind, managing your world, appealing to the source, treating people right, standing for what's right, using your new information to help provide new opinions and not being low energy, low frequency, rather, in regards to stuff like that, being all egotistical, being all childish about certain things. No matter how many generations forward go, no matter how evolved man becomes, whether we grow wings or are able to breathe underwater, whatever's coming, we're still going to have to deal with one another. We're still going to have to deal with matters of the heart. Whatever exchange of business and goods, however that practice goes, we'll have to manage it. Work, management of time, however that goes, it will have to be managed. And when one starts dealing with inner demons or inner struggles, things that they can only deal with inside, there will need to be some type of connection to what created them. And that, I'd imagine, is a space that will be a present space for my spirit while they're going through that. You know what I mean? It's like, I'm live now, but I ain't gonna be live then. I'll be in the spirit then. So this is sort of me leaving something for them to know that while you're going through that, you know what I mean? Somebody left something for you. Many people left something for you that is meant for you. Just like many left something for us. The pyramids were made for us. I look at some of the stuff that was made by tribes and some of the different things that we find. A lot of that stuff was made for us. They sat in caves for years making hieroglyphics for us to, interpret and understand their wisdom and take from them the love that they had for the people that were coming tomorrow. They were giving their great grandkids something, and if we're smart enough, we'll take it, we'll learn from it, we'll listen to them, we'll pray to them and about them or what have you, and get that love and get that information, to grab that energy and toss it forward to those generations that I'm talking to now, and they will take what they have and they'll give it to their generations, etc. And we'll all be talking to those same 25th generation down the road. It's one of those situations where it's like, if we start being ancestors while we're alive, if we start acting like we have something for our future generations to give them, if we start believing that this is something that we are meant to do, that we're not just here to be for today, then I promise you we'll start getting to a place where we can have answers for all of our problems. Because I think most of our problems is low frequency. And low frequency is short-sighted in my mind. It's short-sighted nature. Everything's about life and how you live and your circumference and your heart and what matters to you and your politics. And I'm telling you, when you broaden your scale and start looking at things as if you're forever, then you start putting yourself in a position to have bigger, greater politics, better, greater agreements, better, greater a relationship with the source. I believe that. Because he didn't put you here to be selfish, I don't believe. Although that's the easiest thing to do. Make it all about you. And I was listening to some lady who had a philosophy. I don't remember what they were calling it, but it's a philosophy going around about fake people. I don't know what they call them. It's a 3-letter word, just like BDF. It's NPCs or something like that. But they're fake people, so to speak. They're supposed to be characters in the background as if it's a movie or something. In other words, the story's about you. And I was listening to this lady's philosophy, and that's how she surmised the world around her. She was just simply saying everybody in the story is just, if it's not main characters, if it's not people I know or people who are going to be talking to me, then they're just background characters, and they're not real human beings. They may not even have souls. And I'm like, so that's how you guys justified racism. So that's the logic that you guys walk around with the hypocrisy of treating people poorly, because you honestly believe you're the main characters. The world revolves around you. And as a result, you get to to put people in places in your mind as if they matter or they don't. So when it's time to treat people poorly or separate people from families or separate people from their loved ones, it's very easy to do because you're the main character of your movie and everybody else doesn't matter. This is the mentality that brought me to praying for others. And if you ever hear me talk about the list and the people I pray for, it's that seed of evil that I was fighting within my own skull. There are no main characters in this world. There are no fake people. And if they are fake people, it's not for us to define who's real and who's fake. Once you start thinking people are real and fake, that's when you start affecting the real world around you with your fake ideals of who people are and are not. It's not for you to surmise that human beings are what they are or not. It's for you to surmise what you are and to continue to figure out the layers of self. We haven't discovered self, and we're still trying to figure out who is and who's not and how to label people around us and how best to make our lives make sense and to make our consciousness, the singular consciousness from behind our eyes, the only one that we're able to surmise things from, as the one that we're supposed to be centering everything that we're focused on around. And that, my friend, is selfishness. It's selfishness that ultimately does not help others gain peace, and it certainly doesn't do nothing for the people in the future. It only helps you, and it allows you to surmise that you're the center of the universe, and then you can make a lot of mistakes that mess up a lot of people's lives because of it. That is wrong. I don't believe there are fake people. I believe there are people out here who are warped by what is in their faces every day when they hold their phones. And they don't have anybody telling them that there's a spirit. They don't have anybody telling them that there is more to life than what it is that's in front of them. They have to seek knowledge. They have to seek spirituality. They have to close their eyes and dig deep into themselves and figure out what's in there. Besides what's on the surface, besides what's being given to them. There are many people who don't know how to do that. They've never been taught how to do that. All they know is what's been put in their face the entire time. And there are many babies being given the same thing, which is why people like myself are necessary. Baby accidentally click on this and see something entirely different outside the matrix that has nothing to do with someone trying to get paid for what's coming out of their mouth, which is 98% of probably what you're going to see. And in this era, that unfortunately means that they're bound somehow. Even me, I can't say certain things, or you're not going to see this video because they're going to flag it. But the point is, that's the era we're in. There's no freedom of speech, and the people who are interpreting what should be said and how it should be said are not interpreting it in very unbiased ways. And this is what brought us all to this place. It's what brought us here. People looking at other people as if they're characters that are not important in their movie, so they can sway us in different directions, hurt us in different directions, treat us like we're not real people, import stuff into our head and treat our spirits as if they don't exist. They don't even have to properly educate us. They just give us all portions of information they want us to have and send us on our merry way. This is why. Because there are genuinely people out there who think people aren't real. They think the only people that matter in their story is them. And the people that happen to be in their lives that they love, that they connect with, and otherwise that. So when they start talking about the wide worlds and how they surmise it, we tend to be disposable. And we are. If we don't step up, open up our brains, open up our minds, find some spirituality, step out from behind the guise of those who step behind the curtain and control things. Stand from behind their fog. Get from behind the maze that they're in, that they've put you in, rather. And stand up to them. Not because what matters to you is the forefront and your group matters and everybody else is just a sidebar character. Maybe with a soul, maybe not, who cares, because you never interact with them. That's the approach that puts people in positions to be treated poorly by other people. And this is why you have wars. This is why you have people on high looking down saying, oh, it's just, I don't care what happens to them. Because in my house with my kids, we're fine. Because we're the main characters of our story. Look around, we're good. You got people outside burning, life is all messed up, people starving, they just sitting in their household, cool, chilling. Some of y'all probably watching me right now. You're part of the problem. Why is that? Because you think other people are not main characters. But everybody has a mind, everybody has eyes. And from those, behind those eyes comes a circumference, and they have to make a choice. Either they're the center of that universe or there's other things that matter more than them, and they will sacrifice what they need to be a part of the greater good. If you think you're the center of the universe, believe you me, there is no greater good. Not for you. Not for us in regards to you. I think too many people are trying to play God. And as I said many times, those who understand God, truly know God, know that being God is not something you should want. He suffers quite a bit trying to manage us, trying to listen to all our prayers, trying to deal with all our stuff, trying to hear all of the prayers of the people who came before us who were worried about us, and all the other stuff that I have no idea, could not even begin myself to understand. But that's the point. All of that encompassing knowledge and all that encompassing feeling, all this different love, all this different creation, responsibilities, keeping things balanced while still keeping it current. Why would you want to be God? God doesn't get a chance to sit back and relax. He's constantly moving. He'll never get to stop working, never. And it's thankless 9 out of 10 times. People don't even believe he exists. And the other half of the people want to be him, or pervert his name and do stuff that ain't got nothing to do with what he's talking about. He ain't with none of it. He wants to see how people are treated and apply logic to that. Not apply the formulas that have been placed in place by people who are less evolved than we happen to be now. Telling us how to treat people poorly, telling us how to create environments for which hate comes our way, telling us how to create environments for which bad karma is due. That's all they knew how to do, was create bad energy. They destroy things, they destroy lives, destroy spirits to build nations. Nations that had a foundation that needed to be sorted through in order to be strong enough to stand. And they didn't care how we got to sorting it through. They didn't care. They just wanted it to stand for a time. And if it happened to stand forever, cool. But it was going to be built on hypocrisy regardless. So now, this is where we are. Where the rubber meets the road with hypocrisy. You can't treat everybody poorly. You can't treat everybody as if they not main characters in a movie that matters just because you don't know them or because they're not a part of your group. When you do that, you find yourself at a place where that foundation ultimately falls apart. Maybe not now, but eventually. Because the people that you are seeing matter. They don't make up the majority of the people that you siphon your lifeblood from. In this case, when I'm speaking to those behind the curtain who are doing this particular thing to Kyrie Irving, the people that you are coming to the defense of, they don't make up the majority of the people that spend the money on what it is that you're doing here. They don't make up the majority of the people who run around on the court for you either. See, that's the problem. When you're not the main character in your movie, you understand why other people are so important to what it is that you want and do. You don't allow yourself to think that your power should be wielded in a way that ultimately tears up your kingdom and points negativity at your people. Many a king has never understood this. They enacted in practices that ultimately put them in a position to be hated and make their kingdoms susceptible to a lot of bad responses from the world around it. And they still engage in these behaviors, these insecure, I need to keep my power at all cost behavior. They can't see me as weak, because if they see me as weak, they'll come take what I have. If you were strong as you believe yourself to be, you wouldn't be insecure in your practices against those who are smaller than you. If they're much smaller than you, and you continue to bomb on them every time they swing at you, you do understand that you are deserving of the swings. This is why I talk about karma come early. A lot of times people don't understand karma come early. You got to stop the hate as it comes your way, because it's always going to be a boomerang. It always has to be something that somebody going to have to say, you know what, this happened to me, and I'm going to take the higher road to stop the energy that otherwise destroys the circumstance. Because otherwise we're going to fight each other, or we're going to battle it out, and we're going to have nothing left, and our enemies who happen to be watching and waiting on the sidelines are going to come in and take the plunder from both of us. That is how this goes. And they will infiltrate and try to keep us fighting with each other for thousands and thousands of years while they continue to take the plunder from the little battles we drop. I'm telling you, this is going on a lot. And people are putting their chests out, engaging in low frequency practices made by people who didn't know any better. And now we do, but we're still engaging in those practices because we're too lazy to change, and they've worked. Well, I'm telling you, it ain't going to work for much longer. Y'all better pray to God, figure out another way. But I can tell you, whether you believe in God or not, and I've said this a million times and I'm going to stand on it, he's doing this. This is him. This ain't Kanye. This ain't Kyrie. This ain't Josiah. This ain't none of them people. This is God himself saying, you know what? I'm tired of people standing on my name, treating my people poorly. I'm tired of people taking my people and misrepresenting their intentions. I'm tired of people telling my people they're not my people and behaving as if this is okay. I'm tired of people pretending like they love my people, but when they show real love, it's a different type of thing. That's what God is saying. He wants us to see what's behind the curtain for what it is. We knew we should fear it, but we didn't know why we should stop it from being something we fear. I can't be anti-Semitic. I'm a man of God. I love God. God loves me. And even though I'm from Africa, there's stuff that happened before Africa. And when you trace out back to what happened before Africa, you'll probably find I'm one of the tribes of Judah. I'm one of those people. Now, they can say whatever's in that documentary is a bad thing. That's cool. They can come back and disprove what I'm saying is true. That's cool, too. But until they do that, I'm going to continue to listen to the people that I trust, telling me that they've studied and they found what they found, and that they have some stuff to show me. Not the people who are going around telling them that they're bad people when they're saying they're at peace out of their mouths. I'm at peace. I don't want no trouble. I'm sorry. Nah, you ain't sorry. Here, take this. Give me your $5,000. Nah, I don't want it. What kind of disrespect? Just because you didn't like something he posted, now it's all this? Karma came early, huh? Maybe what you went through is what you were deserving for what you were about to do. You ever think of that? Karma came early? Nope, because nobody ever looks at that. They're their own character. We, us, our doctrine, well, other people have to suffer for you to be you, so it's time for you to stop allowing that to be the case. You shouldn't want to benefit from that no more. It's okay to tell the truth about black people. It's okay. It's okay to have the conversation if it ain't true. Why you gotta hide? Why you gotta flog people for bringing up the conversation? If it ain't true, it ain't true. You know what I mean? I understand if somebody come by and say, yo, slavery didn't happen. I got proof. Here's a documentary. It never happened. Okay. We upset. But you know what we gonna come back with? Proof. Real proof. Chains that are still preserved from back then. Plantations that still have DNA. That you can go over there and see the blood and the leaves and all of that. You can still find the DNA. See, that's what it is. Science can help us understand what it is that's hidden. You ain't got to take my word for it. Slavery didn't exist. We got all kinds of stuff to show you slavery happened. So, if you got stuff, doctrines that date all the way back to tell us who is who, all right, show us the doctrines. Bring them out. Don't just scold people for what it is you know that you know we don't know, and then tell us that we're wrong for engaging in what it is that we're not certain of. No. Don't tell the people that they're anti-Semitic. We don't even know what anti-Semitic means. You never told us. Why do you guys not want to communicate? You guys, like, people of God, you should be no insecurities involved in your practice. God got your back, does he not? I know he got mine, that's why I'm tweaking like this. So why would I need, if I'm you, to protect? Doesn't God have it? Doesn't God got this under control? Why would I need to engage in so many? Why would I need to put on a thorn vest? You know what I'm saying? Or why would I need to booby trap my surroundings if God is in control? I never understand that. People engage in faith, but only take it to a point. It's like, what? What do you believe or not? If you believe, then why are you so afraid of the truth coming out? If you're so afraid, then why are you suppressing those who are crying out to God about what it is that they're saying? Do you not know we are praying? See, this is what I'm saying. It's like Adam Silver and Michael Rappaport and all these guys. Like, do you not know we are praying? Didn't you hear? Didn't you hear the Jesus walks and all this stuff? We put God first before we embarked on this stuff. That's what you need to understand. People have prayed prayers prior to. So you need to ask yourself, have you? What did you get back? Are you sure you're engaging in the right energy? Are you sure you're connected to the source? Because I hear a guy by the name of Kyrie Irving saying, I come in peace. I don't mean no harm. I don't want to hurt nobody. I'm just trying to uplift my people. If I made a mistake in doing that, I understand it. I don't stand by anything that's not in there that shouldn't be in there. At that point, a God is going to provide grace. The offense goes away because the grace is understood in the energy. He doesn't mean that. There's no reason to tell anybody he means something else. He told us he doesn't mean that. Maybe we should go to the people who are promoting it and selling it and say, yo, would you please take this off of your Amazon? Because we don't want it to be there. It hurts people's feelings. I haven't heard anybody address Amazon once. They're treating Kyrie like he's the one who did it. That is not a perfect science. It's bad math. God ain't going to engage in bad math. He's God. If you're a people of God, you're not going to engage in bad math. This is what I'm saying, man. It ain't just about what it look like. Yes, I know their skin is lighter and that shouldn't be a thing, but it is. When you look at people and you say they're from there and then they look like someone else that just stayed, that's going to be a surface level conversation that holds weight. No different than any Maury conversation. You are not the father. I'm sorry. This is what this is, y'all. You can make it deeper than that, but it ain't deeper than that. There's a DNA conversation when it comes to that. But as far as the practices, come on, man. Buck breaking? It's insecure energy. That's low frequency. How is that a spiritual thing? How do you call yourself people of spirituality or people of God if this is what you engage in? It's so low. It's surface level. Control the money, exploit the greed to keep yourself alive. Are you kidding me? Greed is a sin. You know that. You're exploiting people's greed, exploiting people's disadvantage, their systematic disadvantages and their talents, exploiting those to build wealth on their backs. People of God, huh? Above reproach, huh? No, this is wrong. Every child in the future who hears what I'm saying is going to understand that this was some bullcrap. This was not run properly. Them people back then, they was all kinds of wrong. They need their power taken from them and given to people who had a better heart for the people around them, better practices, updated practices for handle human beings that they're supposedly in charge of. Supposedly. This is awful, man. It's awful, and it's a bunch of people who are blind to the idea of what it is because they agree that this should be, because they've always lived in a world where they never question anything because they were taught to never question anything. But I was not born to allow for nonsense. Not with the voice and the mind I have. I wasn't born for that. My mom did not give me life to see stuff like this and just say, well, give me my contract and let me get my voice. Because once I get my voice, put me on the big platform, now I don't have the ability to say all this. So now I got to be muzzled behind my mind. You know how crazy I'd be? I'd probably put a gun in my mouth. I'm serious. If I couldn't say all of this on a national platform and I got to lay my head down at night in a very beautiful mansion, while I know that people are being herded in the wrong direction, man, I'd hate my life. I would hate myself for that. Because I do think like this. I feel like I'd be giving the kids of the future stuff that's going to continue to suppress them and keep them at war, keep them engaging in bad frequency energy, keeping them in positions where they need their power taken from because they engage in crap like this. Hell no, I'm not going to pass this to the future so they can have the same conundrums as the people who are afraid to speak. You're going to keep the people in power who leave you bound and keep you from being able to sleep comfortably at night, but you live in a really nice mansion because at their behest, so long as you don't piss them off. Are you kidding me? You want your kids to go through that? You want your kids to have that as their future? Where their wealth stands in the balance of whether or not their opinion aligns with somebody else's? Are you kidding me? Man, y'all better speak up, speak out, and think about your kids before they run into a worse situation than you. You think the norms that you have right now are going to stay the way they are, but if people in power who stay in power behave like this and get away with this, it gets worse. Don't think it doesn't. The exploitation of black people in our cultures and continuing to hurt us in different directions, that stuff stops now. That stops. We will use our voice for the rest of our lives to assure that people who do this are shamed. Buck breaking in 2022 is a jailable offense in my mind. There should be laws against people using their power to do that. The people behind the curtain who are doing this to Kyrie Irving need to be put in jail. My name is BDF 44. I thank you all for watching.